Let's talk honestly. Not beautifully. Not correctly. Honestly. Most people think freedom is something you get later, after you fix yourself, after you become more confident, more disciplined, more spiritual, more successful, more right. We are taught that first we must improve ourselves, and only then we are allowed to relax, breathe, live, love, receive money, feel joy. And this idea sounds logical, but it's also the reason why so many people feel trapped inside themselves. Because if freedom depends on becoming someone else, then freedom is always postponed, always in the future, and the present moment becomes a place of constant tension, control, and self-judgment. Real freedom does not begin when you become perfect. It begins when you stop fighting yourself. Think about it. How much of your energy goes not into living, but into resisting who you are right now, into correcting yourself, suppressing emotions, hiding parts of yourself, pretending to be stronger, calmer, wiser, more confident than you actually feel. For many people, this inner battle has been going on for years, and it feels so normal that they don't even question it anymore. But you cannot feel free while being at war with yourself. From childhood, many of us learned that acceptance is dangerous, that if you accept yourself, you will become lazy, that if you stop criticizing yourself, you will stop growing, that pressure is necessary, that control is love, that harshness is strength. And so we turned that voice inward. We started monitoring ourselves all the time. Am I doing enough? Am I good enough? Am I spiritual enough? Am I productive enough? And this constant self-check creates an inner prison, a beautiful one sometimes, a self-improvement prison, but still a prison. True freedom begins at a very uncomfortable point, when you allow yourself to be as you are without conditions. This doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you stop growing through violence. Most people don't realize this simple truth. Growth that comes from rejection is always painful and exhausting, while growth that comes from acceptance is natural and sustainable. When a child feels safe and loved, they grow effortlessly. When they feel constantly judged, they freeze or rebel. The same happens inside you. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is stopping the inner attack. When you say, I allow myself to be here exactly as I am right now, something inside relaxes. And in that relaxation, energy returns, clarity returns. Life starts to move again. Freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is not the absence of responsibility. Freedom is the absence of inner resistance. When you are not fighting yourself, you suddenly notice that many fears lose their power. You stop trying to prove your worth. You stop chasing approval. You stop shrinking or performing. You start responding to life instead of defending yourself from it. And this inner shift affects everything: relationships, money, creativity, decisions. Because when you accept yourself, you stop sending the message to life that you are not enough. Many spiritual teachers talked about this in different words. Neville Goddard spoke about states of consciousness. Joseph Murphy spoke about the subconscious mind. Others spoke about self-worth, presence, inner alignment. But the core idea is the same. Life reflects the relationship you have with yourself. If your inner world is built on pressure, life feels heavy. If it's built on acceptance, life becomes cooperative. And here is something very important. Acceptance does not mean you like everything about yourself. It means you stop rejecting yourself as a whole. You can accept your fear without identifying with it. You can accept your insecurity without turning it into your identity. You can accept your current limitations without turning them into a life sentence. Freedom begins when you say, I no longer need to punish myself to deserve a good life. This moment often feels quiet, not dramatic, not explosive, just a soft, internal yes. And from that yes, real change starts happening. You stop forcing motivation and start feeling inspiration. You stop chasing confidence and start trusting yourself. You stop trying to control outcomes and start allowing movement. This is why acceptance is not weakness, it's stability. When you are stable inside, the world stops shaking you so easily. This video is not here to convince you of anything. It's here to remind you of something you already know deep down, that you don't need to become someone else to be free. You don't need to fix yourself to deserve peace. You don't need to fight yourself to move forward. Freedom begins the moment you stop arguing with reality inside your own mind. You can listen to this video again, and again, and every time you might hear a different layer. Because acceptance is not a one-time decision. It's a gentle practice of returning to yourself. And if today you allow yourself just a little more kindness, a little less pressure, a little more honesty, that is already freedom. And remember, anything is possible.